So anyway, yeah, I'm picking up with a lot of what Andy, and then just examining how this incredibly dysfunctional group of Mr. X, Scourge, uh, oh wait a bit, I better not, Ghost. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody,
Yeah.
but Headsman, yeah, he was already there. That's no secret.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can this bunch of murderers and nuts do anything? And then, of course, I'm taking the liberty of like, well, I'll just put my little pet project in there too, and I'll have the Agents of Atlas pop up really
Yeah.
early
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
So, like my second issue, that's when Norman Osborn comes out, and if you've been reading Atlas, you'll see that they crossed him at one point. And he hasn't forgotten it because he never forgets anything.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what the Thunderbolts are supposed to do, according to him now. Go kill them.
Yeah.
So immediately, I'm just throwing him into all kinds of mayhem.
Yeah, I can't wait for your run on it because, like I said, you juggle characters so well. You did such a great job, and like
Well,
I'm really
fun.
excited to see.
I recently wrote the Hood miniseries.
Yes.
And after writing that, I was like, okay, this is fun writing nothing but villains. Nobody has to be noble.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's just completely self-involved. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
No, not really. And so, yeah, it was a good transition from that to Thunderbolts.
That was a great book as well. I mean, I was a big fan of Vaughn's work on that, and I was really excited to see your take. I mean, I like how you kept some of the elements from the original series, like some of his characters, and actually kind of expound upon and made them better. But you did a great, and in fact, in my opinion, as far as Dark Reign titles go, the spinoffs, that's probably the best one in my opinion, by
Yeah,
far.
woo!
So I mean, because the character's so complicated, yeah.
No,
But you're able to. I like the fact you're able to expound upon like his family life more, and that he's in every freaking book, but you don't get that personal life. That he's not this. He's kind of thrust into this. He still has a wife and kids. You know?
I think a lot of people didn't realize like who he is, or if they didn't read that original Blood for Stones miniseries, they don't know that like he's essentially Peter Parker gone wrong.
Yep.
It's like, here's what if just he was born in a worse neighborhood and things kept going down, and he didn't even have an Uncle Ben figure to look up to. This is the way he goes.
He got the cloak. That's what he.
Yeah, he got the cloak. He did not get bitten by a spider. He got a Dormammu cloak.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Whoops.
Yeah. So I mean, and Brian Vaughan makes a pretty good point of it. He even names him Parker. So
Yeah.
And I still think that's the only reason I got the job. I think Bill Roseman, the editor, just would say Parker Robin, Jeff Parker.
Yeah.
It's like I really think it's an accident of just remembering my name.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we try to bring in. It's like we've obviously moved ahead in time some now. His girlfriend is never actually married. Has had the baby, and now the kid's about a year old, toddling around, and you know it's fun to like show how that's something that he's trying to take care of here. He's trying to, yet he's trying to impress every killer in the block, so he can hold his position.
Keep them all happy.
It's a very Sopranos type setup, and you know we didn't want to waste that.
It's phenomenal. I love it. Now, in bookending this with Agents of Atlas, because that's like obviously it's one of my favorite books ever right now. X-Men Agents of Atlas coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Can you kind of tell us what's going to happen? That's kind of like perfect crossover right there. So.
Well, yes. Essentially, what's happened is Venus has been kidnapped, and the agents are at a loss. They can't find her. They do some quick going through their intel and calculations. The one thing they know about, and they don't know a whole lot about it, is that the X-Men who are nearby, you know, because they moved to San Francisco, it's like have Cerebra.
Yeah.
And it's like this thing can let you scan the planet for somebody with psychic ability, and that's what Bob has.
Yep.
So, and also, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in Matt Fraction's story, or whatever, where you know there's just violence erupting everywhere. So the Agents of Atlas they don't know what's going on with the X-Men. They don't know if they can be trusted, and they don't have time to find out. They just need to find Venus because they're worried about her. So they essentially take it upon themselves to go pull a caper and go bust in and get Cerebra out of the Graymalkin industry. And then, boom, violence ensues. And it just writes itself from there. But it's really fun, too, to be able to, especially after working on X-Men First Class for years, to be able to bring, you know, we have all the original characters in there, pretty well, except for Marvel Girl. And to have them interacting with them is a lot of fun. There's also a part that you'll see that I don't think has been played up enough yet, where you'll get to see the original X-Men against the original Agents of Atlas. And I know people who are familiar with the timelines are going to wonder how that worked, because the original Agents of Atlas were in '58, and the original X-Men are sliding all around. You know, they're not in the '60s anymore; they're probably in the '90s at this point. But it'll make sense when you read it. And the great thing, I just got a bunch of layouts. Chris Somney, who draws the Mighty, is drawing it, and he is clearly inspired. I mean, it's just blowing my head off to look at these pages. Everybody's going to love it.
He seems like an artist to me that, like, if you give him a script, he's actually going to pick a couple little things out, just like eye movements, things going on in the background. He does an amazing job with that.
He gets subtlety in there too, and just really good, strong design. Very Toth influence. It looks terrific.
Well, cool. Thank you for taking some time out. I'm really excited about Thunderbolts coming up. We're really excited about Underground coming up. So thank you for keep cranking out the great work, man. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, Jeff Parker, he's the man. Thank you.